Hey, Halfmilesniper here, and we are back in the garage today because I didn't quite realize how many rounds I'd put through the gun since the last time we looked, and it's almost time to take a look again. So since I couldn't get to the range, we're going to scope the bore today. So, y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. Alrighty, well, the other day when I commented that I couldn't get out to the range this past weekend and that I was going to have to do some garage video, somebody suggested, hey, scope your bore. And I said, well, I usually do it every 100 rounds. Well, that got me to thinking, so I double-checked my book because I could have swore I only shot 40, maybe 50 rounds since the last time I scoped it. And that was a little over 75, so that's close enough to 100. Let me do the head math real quick. We were at 242, we're at 325, so that's what, 80-ish? So, yeah, that's close enough to 100 to take a look. We'll get the magazine out, and somebody commented in one of my 6.5 videos asking what gun this was because the action sounded so rough. It whines a little bit, but it's not rough. It's pretty nice, actually. I will go get my scope, and we will take a look down the bore, filthy dirty, see how it looks. Then we'll give it a little quick clean, see how things are looking. We'll check to see how the throat's looking, see if we've got much erosion now that we've started getting loads up to speed, breaking 2800. Been running a couple of slower powders. We did get the barrel warm a couple of times. Nothing major, but let me get the scope and we'll take a look. Okay, so this is going to be our first look down the bore in about 80-ish rounds. Let's see, we want to record. And it's recording. So, first look down more in 80-ish rounds. Chamber looks okay, and there's our throat. Dirty, it doesn't look like the throat has eroded much. We'll see how it looks once we get some solvent in there. Seeing a little more copper. Now remember, besides the target loads, we also ran, what was it, 10, 15 to 20 solid coppers. Interesting dark line right there. Not sure if that's anything. We'll see in a minute. Just looks like your typical dirty bore. We'll take a look at the crown, and then I'll start the clean. Okay, there's a crown. Not seeing any gas erosion at the crown. Seeing a little carbon buildup in the threads of the brake right there, though. Okay. Okay, now that was really, really weird. I'm not sure what happened. I went to stop recording on the Borescope, which is connected to my phone, and it shut the GoPro off. I don't know if there's some connection now between my Borescope and my GoPro. Is it the electronics becoming self-aware like Skynet? Okay, give me a minute to punch the bore with a little solvent, get it scrubbed out, and we'll take another look. Okay, this is... Whoop, came too far up. Third dry patch, still coming out a little dark, but we'll take a look. So, all I have done was 2 wet patches with good old hops number 9. I decided to go with the hops because of how dirty it looked, rather than using the good for the environment stuff, Gunzilla, which I really do like, but we went for a little scrubbing action. So let's see what we got here. Chamber's still looking good. There's our throat. Definitely burning a little more, but not too terrible bad. Not too bad at all. Got us a little copper. Almost looks like a little carbon. Can't tell if that's carbon or the finish, but there's that dark line again. Goes all the way around. Interesting. No idea what that is. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with some carbon cleaner and cut the carbon real quick. See how the copper looks. Back this up carefully so I don't break my mirror. And I'll bring you back after we do the copper. After we do the carbon. So that is our first carbon patch. Second one had a whole lot less on it. And we are on the third right now. And we will see. Came out too far again, but that's okay. Only a little bit. Let's fire up the scope and take a look. I had it to begin with. There we go. Get in the chamber without cracking the mirror. There's the shoulder. There's our throat erosion. 325 rounds. And of those 325, 5 are factory. So far. Not bad. Not bad at all. So let's see how we're looking. Looks like we're finally starting to wear through the finish on the inside the bore. Have a little bit of copper there. If you remember, those who've been around a while, when we looked down the bore brand new, the inside of the bore was finished black like the outside, black nitride or whatever this is. And we're slowly wearing through it. Not seeing a whole lot of copper though. That's good. Almost looks like got a little bit of a yellow tinge here. We'll see. Yeah, there's a little bit of copper there. Got to be getting close to the muzzle. Oh yeah. So we got a little copper buildup here at the muzzle. I think I'm going to give it one minor swipe with some copper cleaner. We're not going to scrub it all out. We're just going to get the high points. Cool. So while I've got the copper killer in there doing its thing, yeah, there's some people who, they've seen my copper video on my 40-year-old Winchester, and they tell me, oh, copper won't affect your accuracy at all. Well, my rifle says differently. That Winchester shot horribly. It had so much copper in it. I have, you know, since I cleaned that one, it's shooting under an inch again. I'm not trying to get all the copper out of this barrel or this bore. I just want to get the heavy stuff out here on the end of the muzzle. So we're going to let that copper cleaner do its thing for a couple of minutes. We're going to come in with a nylon brush. I have one now so I don't kill my good brass brush or bronze brush. And we'll scrub it, we'll patch it, we'll take a look. I'll show you what the copper killer patch looked like when I get ready to scope the bore. So, have me a sip of coffee. We'll come back and see how the bore looks. Okay, so this will be the third dry patch after running the copper cleaner. And that doesn't look too bad. It's fairly clean. This is what the copper cleaner patch looked like. Very blue-green. So, let me get around to the other side and stick that Borescope down there. Feels like we're in. Shoulder, throat. Yep, definitely wearing through the finish on the inside of the bore. That appears to be bare metal. Just a little bit of copper left. And say we're getting close to the muzzle. And there's a whole lot less copper there at the muzzle than there was before. So I think we're going to leave it just like that for right now. Very good. Get that out carefully without breaking the mirror. And I tell you what, that Teslong Borescope sure does make it easy to see what's happening inside your bore. Once again, I got to thank Eric Cortina for that. If I would have never been watching him, I would have never learned about those Borescopes and wouldn't have known what I was missing. And speaking of that, for those who tell me, you can't remove the copper, you got to leave the copper. Well, we left a little bit, but we removed the heavy stuff. If the F-class shooters can take their bore back to bare metal after every match and not deal with any copper buildup, it's not going to hurt me to knock out some of my copper out of my bore. So don't worry, we're not hurting anything. This is doing fine. Of course, now I do have to fire a couple fouling shots since I cleaned the gun, but that's okay. And speaking of that, last time out we shot US 869. I have changed the title of that video because I made a mistake in the title. I claimed it as the 153 grain A-tips. Those were 147 ELDs, and we went just beyond the max load. Max load was 66.3. We went to 66.5. Had a decent group, broke 2800, and I have loaded 66.6, 0.7, 0.8, and 0.9. What I failed to say in the video was 66.5 was lightly compressed. So all four of these loads are compressed, that I just loaded, are compressed loads. So we will be watching very closely for pressure signs on each one now. Some powders shoot well in a compressed load, some don't. So we will be watching very closely. And if I see any pressure signs, we'll stop shooting right then and there. The other thing I noticed as I was wiping off the bolt, I don't know how I didn't notice it before, but Howa fitted the bolt to this action. It has the last three numbers of the serial number engraved on the bottom side of the bolt handle. So I know there's several others out there that have Howa actions. Double check the bottom side of your bolt and see if it's matched to your action. Alrighty, well, we put the slightest sheen of oil on the bolt. Seems to be running smooth. Very good. Well, the rifle is all cleaned. The bore didn't look too bad. The throat's not eroding near as bad as I expected. Supposedly the 6.5 PRC only has about a 1,500 round life. So we are definitely 1/5 of the way through the life, if that's true. Barrel life, I should say. So we will keep an eye on it. Like I said, I like to keep looking down the bore about every 100 rounds or so. This time here we did it at 75. And I'll thank viewer Jeff B for that suggestion to take a look, because, well, we've been shooting a little bit of hotter powder and getting closer to our target speed. So, yeah, it was probably a good idea to take a look when we did. And as always, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all to stay strapped or get clapped. Carry everywhere you can. Get a CCW if you need one. If you're in a constitutional carry state, get a CCW anyways. You never know, you might travel. The blue states are trying their darndest to make life safe for the criminals and turn law-abiding citizens into criminals. So hopefully that fight gets fought and won soon. I mean, it is our right to protect ourselves. So remember, you are your own protection. Nobody's coming. With all that being said, I want to thank y'all for hanging with me this evening or today or whatever time you're watching this, whether you're watching it at the live or watching it in a rerun. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate that. All the regulars that hang out with me when we do the premiere and the chats, thank you so much for that. I do enjoy our time together. I hope I pass on a little bit of education to those that are learning, and thank you for being there. And so until next time, this is Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time. Send it. Hit.